Hey YouTubers, I'm back at you again. Thought I would post up a music video. Haven't gotten around to working on the old Martin guitar just yet. That tune, by the way, was called So What? So What? It's a Miles Davis tune. That was sort of Tony Rice's version. Tony Rice and Jerry Garcia and what's his name? David Grisman recorded that on the pizza tapes, I believe, and that was sort of Tony's version. It's not exactly, it's some stuff I threw in there with it, but that's not on this video. I'll teach you that. If you want to learn that, post up and I'll teach you Rice's version as near as I know it. And subscribe. You got to subscribe. You have got to subscribe. You got to tell your friends to subscribe. Get as many as we can possibly get to learn this shit, man. This old guy's going to die pretty soon and nobody else around going to be able to play it. Or show it to you, rather. So anyways, this video is about endings for tunes that you already know how to play. Every bluegrass player knows the Rice ending. Everybody does that. Everyone's familiar with it, I think. It's just become so common, you know. So I'm going to show you some advanced bluegrass endings that you can slap on, tag on the end of your tunes that you already know. And I'm going to do those with using the first half of Rice's a well-known ending. That I hope you know, because I'm not really going to get into it. That's the first half of it. There's alternate versions of that, by the way. Rice does. He does another alternative like. And there's a bunch of them. We can make a video that would last 3 days long just on endings, but I'm just going to show you a couple, some things you can work on. Maybe you can use these maybe to help you out in some stuff. And based off of the first half of Rice's that. First I would like to say the Martin video repair that I talked about earlier in other videos, I meant to do that by now. Had a stroke of bad luck. Had Christmas Day I got really sick. Had influenza type A, and as if that wasn't good enough, it evolved into pneumonia, and I've been really bad sick, terribly sick, and still am, but I'm better compared to what I was. I had a fever like over 102 degrees for 5 or 6 days and nights in a row. Anyways, I'll get around to the, I'm going to do the Martin repair video probably next after this video here. So those of you that are watching for that and want to learn how to fix your guitar when it seems unfixable, tune in for that. Subscribe. You got to subscribe, people. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, back to the endings. We're going to base these off of, by the way, these strings are shot. They're completely dead. They are totally worn out. These are the strings I put on after you watch me do the fret job on this guitar. They have terrible rust on them now because I've been too sick to change them. I have been playing it though. Well, I missed a couple of days, but I've been playing it other than that. So you're going to hear some funky sounds from these strings. Just please try to overlook that. let's get to these endings. I want to move kind of quick through these because I feel bad. Alright. I'm gonna, this is out of the key of G major, and like I say, I'm assuming you know this. I want to show you something to tag onto that, like, so you could put those together on and make your own ending. So, assuming you know this, I'm going to show you this part. This is just something I came up with. I used to actually do this on the banjo, I think. But anyway, do the rice thing. And then you're going to start this second sequence to end it on the first string on the 5th fret. And like I say, I'm going to move through this kind of fast so you can watch and pause the video in between, you know, segments. I'll do it in segments first right now, and then we'll break it down and talk about it. Here's the first part. Okay, so let's break that apart now. You're starting on the first string, 5th fret, and you're walking up to the 7th, and back to the 5th. Then you're going to come up on the 2nd string, on the 8th fret, 8th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, go. Pause the video, go back and check that out. Here it is. Then you're going to come up on the 3rd string, on the 7th fret, walk back to the 5th fret, then open, 3rd string open, 3rd string, 3rd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret, 3rd string open. So it's it sounds pretty cool when you put it, slap it, tag it on the end of Rice's thing, like. So there's you an ending, one ending to work on. Okay, here's another thing that you can tag on the end of Rice's almighty, well-known. Okay, let me figure out how to break this. And let me break this up in segments for you. I'm going to assume that, again, that you know the Rice thing there. So I'm going to break this up in segments for you first, and then we'll talk about it. One more time. Alright, what we're doing is we're barring the 1st and 2nd strings on the 3rd fret. Strings are horrid. They're even buzzing because I have the action so low on this guitar, and there's rust under the string, underneath it, which decreases the gap between the string, the top of the fret and the bottom of the string. But that's all shit right now. I'll fix it. I'll put new strings on it, and it'll all be good. Okay, so barring on the first and second string on the 3rd fret. Dig that. You're going to do like a triplet here with the pick. You're doing a triplet, and then you're noting the 1st string on the 6th fret and sliding to the 7th. Now, I'm playing the 3 first notes down with the pick, and that slide I'm picking up. But there again, I'm not a guitar instructor, and I would highly recommend that you develop whatever picking pattern is good for you. Like I said before, everybody's hands are different. Everybody's hands are different size. They'll only move certain ways. So what might be right for one guy or gal may not be right for you. So, you know, just fool with it and develop whatever feels right for you. That feels right for me to play the first 3 and then catch that slide with an upstroke on the pick. But that you just fool with it, you know, and do whatever feels most comfortable for you. One thing you want to keep in mind is speed. Do it. Figure out a way to do it where you can do it fast, because you know it's usually in a. You got to be able to really, you know, catch it quick and clean. All right, moving on. Once you do that, come back to the 1st string, 3rd fret. That's a G note. 2nd string on the 6th fret, and then 2nd string on the 3rd fret. Got that? Now you're going to slide on the 3rd string from the 6th fret back to the 5th, and then move on the 3rd string to the 3rd fret. You're going to bar here the 4th and 3rd string at the 5th fret, and then you're going to hammer on the 3rd string from the 3rd fret to the 4th. Then the 3rd open. So that would all go together like. See what I mean? Put it all together with Rice's piece. Alright, from here we trend on. The next note will be your 4th string on the 3rd fret. 3rd string open. 4th string, 3rd fret again. 4th string open. So that would be, and all that's left is the great, almighty, powerful G run that we all know and love so well. So, let me break it up here again. Or you can do the just go right to the G. See what I mean? Alright, that's pretty much it for those 2 licks. I guess you could put those 2 together and make your own ending, but it's something to work with. It's a little bit of melodic shit that you can fool around with. Stick it wherever you like, as long as it's safe. It's usually I find it to fit good in up-tempo like things, you know. You wouldn't necessarily have to use the Rice thing. You could come up with your own thing there, you know. I don't know what it would be, but do something there if you didn't want to use the Rice thing, and then do this stuff, you know, if you like it and want to use it. If you have any questions, leave comments or inbox me. I'll interact as much as I possibly can and answer your questions on this stuff here. It's a little advanced, it's a little tough. It'll take you some practice. Practice it very slowly. Don't try to do it fast. Learn it and do it slow and build your technique and get comfortable with it as you go. And one day you'll get up and pick the guitar up and hey, you'll be able to do it. You know, so start slow. Start very slow and build up, you know, at your speed just kind of gradually. Don't push it. Let your speed come. It will come eventually on its own. And that's very important because, you know, you develop your technique and your timing and your feel and everything. You want all that stuff to fall together. You don't want to be real tense and tight and playing and hope you get this lick when you get to it. It doesn't work that way. Okay, I wanted to zoom in just a little bit and do these one more time up close. Like I say, the right hand, I recommend you develop your own style down there, whatever is best for you, whatever's most comfortable for you. Anyway, here's the left hand thing again. Here's the first one. I'll do it really slow. I'll try to do it slower than that. You could do something like, for, you know, some alternative thing. Okay, the other one, I'll show you one more after this. Well, I've got a couple more for you. Anyways, sorry, phone call. The other one is, so that's a Brian Sutton thing. I don't know if I said that or not. He does a lot of triplet like things like that with a pick. Anyway, this is a Brian Sutton thing. The triplet is. So there's your close-up on that one. I hope this zoom in helps. One other little funky ending I can show you here that's just a bunch of shit, actually. Maybe you can use something out of it. Something weird like that. That would probably be better. That's just a bunch of stuff I came up with. It sounds pretty good. And you know, LICKS is, but we'll get into all that stuff later. Anyway, there is 3 endings for you in the key of G or A if you're capoed. That's 3 things you can work on, and I thought maybe a couple of other things that might be useful that you could maybe use are endings in other chords besides G. One I use quite commonly in D, well, let's say in D, would be, let's see, or that's a couple of variations. It's just endings that you can do in D chord, D major, or in the D position. If you're capoed up in 2nd fret playing in E, you know, you can do the very same. So let me put that into context for you real quick. We're in the key of D right now. You see how it fits in on a D major or a D position chord. Or there's a lot of variations you can do to that, but I'm going to show you only one because like I say, this tape could go on for weeks if we get into all these endings that are possibilities, you know. So D position, capo on wherever you are, as long as you're in D position. I'm in D root, D chord, so I'm going to come down here to this area. That's starting off on the first string on the 7th fret, 9th fret, and 10th fret. Let me zoom in here for you, if this will help. This might make it a little easier for you to tell what's going on. Okay. If you can see it. This, I'm on the first string on the 7th fret. That's the 9th fret, and that's the 10th. And I'm coming up on the 2nd string here on the 10th fret, so I'm going. Then I'm barring the 1st and 2nd strings on the 10th fret with my ring finger. Okay, there's your one more. That's a nice little ending to do in a D position, or D chord in D position. If you have a capo one, doesn't matter where you are, it works. You can move this thing I just showed you, you can move back and use it in C major or C position. There again, if you have the capo on, which whole step would put you in D in the C position. So as long as you're in that C position, yeah, here's another. This is a lot close to like the last ending I just showed you. Let me give you an example. You'll be able to hear the resemblance, but it's not exactly the same, and I'll explain that. So here you go. In C. Now, a little bit changes there. The first part, that's all the same as what I just showed you down here to use in D position. We're in C position now, so it's got to change a little bit on these last final bass notes. So, starts the same. Right here it starts to change. Now let me break this up for you. You slide from the 5th string, slide on the 5th string, from the 6th fret to the 7th, 4th string on the 5th fret, the 5th string on the 6th fret, then the 4th string open, then the C. I'm sorry for the confusion. I've been sick, I can't think, got a fever, you know the rundown. Anyway, I'll do it in segments really slow and just shut my mouth, and you can pause the video and get it that way. Probably would be best. So here it is in C. I'll do it slow first and break it up. Alright. I'll break it up as well as I can. have it. Endings you can do in G. I showed you, what, 3 of them in G. 1 of them in D that you can also use in C with a little bit of variation on that last part. Again, I say we could spend a 3-day video just on the endings alone. There are a blue million of them. Just all kind of things that you could do. You know, some really nice endings that you could incorporate into bluegrass or country or whatever, you know. I'll leave you with one more. This is kind of a funky again, this is all in G major. I'm using G major as my root. A lot of you may know this ending, maybe some of you never heard it before. I'll go through this real fast. Okay, let me start with the first part. That is beginning on your first string, second string, third string. That's second string on the second fret, third string on the third fret. So you have that's your third string open, fourth string second fret, fifth string fourth fret, fifth string open. So let me break that up in segments for you. After it does that, the easiest way I can tell you to get this chord, I think this is an augmented or diminished chord, I believe. Anyway, the easiest way I can tell you to get is to get a regular D chord. Let me zoom in here so you can see this a little better. Get a regular D chord. Now you want to take that D chord and move it up one string. So you're going to have this. I know it sounds like shit now, but that's what it does. Move the D chord up a string. Put your pinky on the first string, third fret. That gives you this. Okay, let's assume we are holding this chord on the second fret because our first 2 fingers, our index finger and middle finger, are on the second fret. So let's use that as a bass. You hit this chord twice, you strum it twice. Move it down where your index and ring or middle finger are on the 5th fret, and move it down to where it's on the 8th fret, those 2 fingers, and then down to the 11th fret, those 2 fingers. We're only talking about your index finger and your middle finger, just to give you a general sense where to get this diminished chord. Those of you with an ear for music can probably hear it and just pick it out, but and you can alternate that rhythm, or you know, I usually just go because it usually comes by at like 200 miles an hour when it happens. Okay, the part after that, I'm just walking on the first string, beginning at the 12th fret, 12, 11, 10, then noting second string on the 11th, hammering to the 12th. Hope you can see that. Come back to the second string on the 8th fret, and the third string on the 9th fret. So that's, and then if you're familiar with the G here, G here, and you're working out of this box. So or that can be your choice, whichever you prefer there. That's usually the one I use, but you can do the or whatever. Okay, I hope I explained that well enough until you can get something out of it. Or so there you go, folks. There's a whole bunch of pretty sweet endings that you can mess around with. Tag them on, like I say, I usually use the Tony Rice thing. It's so popular. So there's all of them together real quickly. I hope this helped someone. It's going to get a lot deeper than that. Like I say, if you want to learn the so what. Post up, I'll teach you that. Need to slow it down a lot, but yeah. Let me know what you want to learn, folks. I mean, subscribe, man. That means everything. I have like 830 some subscribers right now. Come on, people. Tell your friends about this. Tell them that there's going to be some great guitar stuff happening here. Not only learning, but to play, but learning how to work on your shit and fix it yourself. Might save you $100, 200 or more than that. The next video I'm going to do, hopefully, if it goes as planned, is the old Martin guitar that I told you about in the previous video. I would have already done that, started what I meant to start right after Christmas. I've just been sick as hell, man. I've had pneumonia, and I thought it was just, it was bad. It was really bad. Anyway, that's all. It's on the mend, I think. Do stay tuned. Tell all your friends. Tell them to tell their friends. Subscribe, man. I want to see that subscriber thing go up, and I will deliver you some good material. I'd like to say a shout out to Mr. Lewis Ball. I know you've been watching these videos, and hope something good comes of it. You may be more interested in the repair videos, but anyway, Lewis is a friend of mine. He runs a Calvin music store, a guitar shop in Calvin, West Virginia. All of you local people around here need to stop in there and see him. He's got a great inventory. He's got some nice stuff in there, and he's the best guy in the world to deal with. He will help you all he can. So holler at Mr. Ball. Stop in and check out his inventory and help him out. Help me out. Subscribe, baby. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe channel and tell everyone that you know to subscribe to this channel, and let's see what happens. Might be a surprise that you may all enjoy. But it's not going to happen until I get over this flu stuff. Anyways, there's you some endings to work on. My friend in Japan Peace, Charles. Thank you for the idea once again. Charles and me used to play in a band, a rock and roll band actually together. He came up with the idea for me to show you guys some endings to tunes you already know. So there you go. He also came up with the idea of showing you some heavy metal and basic rock and roll and southern rock type guitar riffs and things that you can use. I use them in bluegrass, but you could bend them around a little bit and use them in whatever music you play. That's another video that's going to happen eventually, and so much stuff, man, to go through. Got some arpeggio stuff we'll go through, some sweep picking, and just sound techniques. There's so many things people do to kill the sound of their acoustic guitar, and they don't even know they're doing it. I'm going to teach you some things to get everything out of your guitar that it's capable of. And plus some repair work here and there. I hope that might help. I've got my own Martin to work on. I have a couple other guitars, an electric bass guitar. I actually have a fiddle I need to set up, but they're coming in more all the time. I'm really getting more work than I thought I would, or you know, but that's cool. It's money, it puts food on the table. Anyway, stay tuned, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you sincerely for all of my subscribers. I appreciate any comments that you may have. If you have any questions, just say the word. I will try as hard as I can to answer any questions that you may have. I'll help you out all I can. Like I said, the more subscribers I get, the more I'll help you out. If I don't see any subscribers, I won't work as hard. If that subscriber count goes up to 1,000, man, I'll dig deep and I'll show you. I can show you what I know. You know, but there again, I'm not a guitar instructor. I only know what I know, but what I do know, I'm sure of. Peace, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Watch for some great videos coming up. Cheers. Just wanted to tag on the end of this, just make sure you understand I know there's people out there who want to see some repair work done. The guitar I showed you, the Martin guitar I showed you, which is mine, that needs a major job done to it to get the bridge to match up with the fretboard. That probably will be the next video I do. I'll film it for you and try to teach you everything I can. There's a lot of things has to happen to get those measurements right and everything, and I have to I'm going to have to remount the peg holes a tiny bit because we're taking off the top of that bridge a tiny bit. I don't think I'm going to have to take as much as I originally thought off of the bridge itself, because that neck on that guitar is it's got a forward curve, a really bad forward bow to it, but the truss rod works. I can take that out and fix that, I think, and when I do that, I don't think the straight edge is going to be as far off on the bridge as I thought it was in the other video I showed you. Hopefully, if that's the case, that's better, because that only means I'll have to take less off of the bridge to make all of that stuff line up right. Anyway, I'm going to tear into that as soon as I feel a little better and get a little more over this deadly coughing pneumonia thing I've been suffering with for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. But yeah, look for that. Those of you that want to learn how to repair your own guitar and do some things like that, save you a fortune. The refret job I did on this guitar, the dressing, I am totally happy with. Like I say, right now the strings are dead. They are shot. They got rust on them. That rust is causing buzzing because it's decreasing the amount of distance between the tops of the frets and the bottom of the strings. And it's not set up for that, and it makes some fret buzz. I'll show you with new strings, so I'll put new strings over. But right now I want to get the other guitar fixed. I need that guitar pretty soon. I'm going to need it. Another thing I might mention, by taking by taking off of the top of this bridge, as I showed you on the other video, I'm going to have to ream the pinholes out a tiny bit to get the pins to fit right. But one thing people don't take into consideration is the string angle, the angle of the string that comes up from the bridge plate through the bridge where it breaks off and goes across the saddle. That's all got to be compensated for too. All those string angles, they've been off from the factory actually. So I have to take an X-Acto knife or some tool and get down in there and figure those angles and recut the angles to get the guitar to maintain the sound that it had. And it did have an awesome sound. Just something I thought I would mention that you might want to learn if you watch me do that video. I'll try to do it next. Try to teach you whatever I can on that next. Hopefully it'll help somebody out there to save a few bucks or learn how to repair their own guitar if nothing else. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope the endings add something. Eventually, after the Martin repair guitar, I'll do the other video my friend in Japan reminded me of, which is heavy metal like rock and roll southern lead rock licks that you can incorporate in bluegrass or jazz or country music, whatever. So stay tuned. There's a lot of interesting things going to come up on this channel if the subscriber count goes up. Subscribe, man. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell them, tell their friends. Hell, send them messages, inbox them, whatever. Aggravate them. Tell them, subscribe to this guy. He gonna teach you some shit. Thank you, folks. Peace out. Have a wonderful new year. I hope this stuff helps you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the Martin guitar repair, which will come up next, hopefully if I'm feeling better within the next few days. Thumbs up. Keep on picking, guys. Happy picking. One more thing, and I promise to shut up. Remember the Fishman matrix blend system I showed you in the other video where I fretted this guitar? You can see it in the sound hole there. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's in there. This system is a Fishman Aurora Matrix Eclipse. Eclipse, not Aurora. It's a Fishman Eclipse Matrix Blend is what it is. I love this thing, man. It's better than any pickup or mic I have ever used. It's got a condenser mic built inside of it. If you can see that, let me get back here and zoom in. Some of you have seen it before in other videos. There, I think you might be able to see the condenser mic inside of there. It has a bridge pickup that goes underneath the saddle here. And you can blend between that condenser mic and the saddle pickup. Plus there's some other variations in there. You can change the phase between the two. Then there's another switch you can change, and it really changes everything. And it gives you 4 more totally different sounds you can play with. And it sounds, for acoustic guitars, it sounds truer to me than any preamp or pickup that I have ever heard before. So far I'm very happy with it. But what I want to tell you, eventually, before very long, I'm going to do a review on this. I'm going to hook it up through an amp, and you can listen to it yourself. I want to do a review on it, tell you everything I think about it. There were some problems with the switch buzzing in it. It sounded like distortions, what it sounded like. Fishman needs to do something about that. I figured a temporary fix for it, which stopped working, but I've got another fix now. Anyways, I want to do a review on this. And for all you acoustic players that have trouble with mics and feeding back, it's got a plug right here. I had to drill the hole out a little bit bigger and put a jack in there to hook the cord into, but that's no biggie. Anyway, that may interest a bunch of you guys that play acoustic guitars and are sick of you trying to play through a mic and getting feedback and a shitty sound. This will solve your problems. That's the best thing they ever came up with. Fishman Eclipse Matrix blend is the best thing they have ever came up with for an acoustic guitar besides Peterson tuners. Anyways, look for that review. Like I say, I'll hook it into an amp or a sound system, and I'll play it, and I'll use every setting on it. You can listen to the difference in the blend, how you can go from the pickup to the mic, or only the mic alone without the pickup, or only the pickup alone without the mic. So many variations you can do with it. I absolutely love it, and I know you will too if you're a serious acoustic guitar player, no matter what kind of music you play. You won't want to miss this review because I'll go in depth. You know me. I have a tendency to talk a lot sometimes, and I can't hardly talk right now. But anyway, stay tuned for that. I wanted to mention that because this is something that you really should consider if you're an acoustic player and you play in a band or through a sound system or live performances like we do. So that's another thing we look forward to. Listen, man, got to subscribe, people. You've got to subscribe. Come on, subscribe. Click that subscribe button and tell everyone you know. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll make it worth your time. You'll learn a lot of good stuff, I promise. Thanks again, folks, for watching. Peace. Cheers. Hope you have a great weekend.